Shut up.
My name is my name.
Yeah, yeah, ay. Diabolical divas. Diabolical divas. Diabolical divas. We're the ladies with the tea, spilling truth on every mic. Breaking down the games, men play, yeah, we're calling out the hype. Strong, bold, beautiful, we say what's on our minds. Welcome to Diabolical Divas, where the real talk always shines. Oh, Diabolical Divas, say it loud, say it clear, no fear, no filter. Oh, Diabolical Divas, if it's about men and madness, girl, we're right here. Diabolical Divas. Diabolical Divas. Diabolical Divas. Diabolical Divas. Yeah, yeah, ay. Diabolical Divas. Diabolical Divas. Diabolical Divas. We're the ladies with the tea, spilling truth on every mic. Breaking down the games, men play, yeah, we're calling out the hype. Strong, bold, beautiful, we say what's on our minds. Welcome to Diabolical Divas, where the real talk always shines. Oh, Diabolical Divas, say it loud, say it clear, no fear, no filter. Oh, Diabolical Divas, if it's about men and madness, girl, we're right here. Diabolical Divas. Diabolical Divas.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Cannon. Well, you might not know who I am because it say Diabolical Divas, and I'm here with the ladies. You know, I'm here with them. We all here together. As you already know, I'm subbing in for my guy DMG. He down. He need that elderberry, that black seed oil, that oregano oil. You know, he need them prenatal vitamin. I mean, never mind. We ain't gonna get into that. Um,
Prenatal vitamins. What the
you know
hell?
what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sure that we fruitful and married. But today we got a good show. Um, of course, the Sunday ladies' night. Really, I think it's funny that y'all really do ladies' night at the church. People really need to be quietly in prayer, getting ready for their work week, and you want to come out here and be diabolical on a Sunday evening. Did y'all cook dinner? I need to ask the preliminary question.
Yes. Dinner was cooked and eaten.
Yeah, what you eat?
I had wild red snapper.
Okay,
Sauteed
not
spinach.
farm
My
raised.
favorite.
No, wild. And black rice.
And which you ain't had no vegetables?
I just said sauteed spinach.
Oh, I ain't hear the saute spinach. I had red snapper and rice. That's cool. I like that. That sounds like a Marie Callender's meal.
No, cannot.
Ivory, what you cook?
I had leftover lasagna soup.
Look, I ain't never heard of that lasagna stew. That's
Lasagna.
cool. I can't eat
Hmm.
cheese like that, so it sounds good. I just, you know, it got with pot. It got a lot of pasta sauce in it, like spaghetti sauce type stuff.
And Alfredo. It's less cheese because it's soup.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to Google that one.
It's good, Cannon. You should try it.
If it's milky, I can't do it
It's not milky though.
because I
At
can't. I'm
all.
lactose
Milky.
intolerant.
Oh, you don't like milk?
I like
Lactose.
it, but I'm lactose and I'm like severely
Oh.
lactose. I got locks now. If I get my stomach get to hurting like that, I'm gonna have hair like Silky.
Ooh. Ooh.
Not too much on the
Shot.
silk.
Look.
Oh Lord.
Shots fired to the
No,
blonde
no,
bob.
I'm not like
Not
no.
the
I'm just
blonde
saying I'm gonna
bob.
have straight hair after my stomach be my. I don't like that pregnancy feeling. I don't like maternity stomach.
Well,
I
stop
don't.
getting
What?
people pregnant. Stop getting people pregnant and you won't feel it.
Yeah, and then who left on here? Like you at the top, so I'm gonna go across the top.
Ooh.
Like what you had?
Well, I had went to Baltimore earlier and went in somebody's living room and caught me a couple of quails.
Oh, all right.
And I,
All right, yeah. Shout outs to my quails.
You
Why
eat
you look a
quail?
little pecked up?
No, I had made kielbasa sausage and with onions and yellow, orange, and green peppers and onions, and then
Struggle meal.
that's not a struggle meal, baby. Mm-mm. Mm.
No, that's what's up.
And
I
I
like
use
kielbasa.
mushrooms. I have mushrooms with cream soup. Yeah, I made it with
So
some
you
over
put
some
that
jasmine rice.
on your kielbasa or just on the side?
No, I put it all together, like almost
Right.
like a yeah.
All right. So she had goulash.
Yo,
Goulash.
Right, because I had corn and string beans, French style string beans in it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you had your vegetables too. Hey Cookie, what you eat?
I just told
you're
y'all I ate.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Sunday. I'm looking at you, but she right next to you. Sunday, Sunday,
Get it
what you eat?
together. Get
No,
it together.
garlic parmesan, lamb chops, and wild rice, and some spinach.
All right. So okay.
Okay, wild rice.
Wow, that wild rice on the mix today. And Cynthia, aka Sin.
chili and cornbread,
Ooh,
jalapeno cornbread. I didn't
Okay.
make it. My daughter made it because I'm a little today, but my daughter made it. It was really good.
Sounds
ooh.
well. I eat. I'm gonna eat after this show. I think we got some kind chicken, barbecue ribs. I don't know. My wife was just in here. I don't know what else she made. I
Gonna
can
say
smell
some
it though.
kind of chicken. You know what?
So, at my house, I'm just saying, chicken is a staple in the black house.
It was probably a quail. He don't
No,
even know he
no,
ate a quail.
no, they only. I like my quails. They. I'm gonna put a video up with them.
I
'Cause
so never had quail before. That's crazy.
you had pheasant before.
No,
You
no,
you struggling. You supposed to be
no, I'm
one of the
not.
bougie
I don't eat
sisters.
meat, so why am I struggling?
Oh, you don't,
Yes,
I didn't realize you. Well, you eat meat.
I'm a pescatarian.
All right,
I
that's
eat
cool.
seafood.
That's cool. I ain't even mad at that.
Yeah.
My mother tried to be a pescatarian for like 15 years, and then she went back. Something about that chicken called her name. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not gonna work that.
You
I'm a
know,
strong black woman.
right? You ain't strong until you ate oxtails that you clench
I
yourself.
used to eat that too. I don't eat that no more.
When you clean them yourself, you got to yank the whole tail off. So
Yo, just two.
Yo,
I'm glad I got the six of us up here. You know why? Because I want to really get into, you know, I know y'all came out of that KS. I think that's short for Kevin Samuels. I really want to get into uh
mm,
some of these questions because I just want to hear y'all go off just a little bit today. You know, um, and I'm gonna start with the ones that DMG gave me because he presented them in a fashion where I feel like they SAT questions. So if you don't
Yes,
answer
they're
right, you're gonna
definitely
fail.
essay questions.
You know, he says, why are so many red pill and incel leaning black men louder online than they are productive in real life? And why do they demand submission from the very women they openly resent and rarely approach with confidence? I'm gonna start at the bottom. Cookie, go first.
Wow, I knew you was gonna call me first. Um, I think it has a lot to do with socioeconomics, pressures of structure, validation. Um, as far as socioeconomics, I would say that on an average, there's challenges with like unemployment,
Mm-hmm.
discrimination, disenfranchisement, and I want to say more or less powerlessness. I just feel like some of the men feel defeated to where they take that hostility out on women, particularly
Mm-hmm.
Black women. Demanding submission from women is something that has been going on for a long time, which I never understood because what I see online is men thinking that every woman, even women they don't know, never met, are supposed to submit to them because they have a penis between their legs. They feel like they have this, God-given power, if you will, to for everyone to submit to them, especially when they're not in a position to be submitted to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it goes back to unemployment, lack of resources, different things like that. So I think it's a lot of echo chambering going on as well.
Okay.
Hyper masculinity and insecurity.
So before we move forward, A Legend just jumped on. I need to ask the most important question. Did you eat dinner yet?
Yeah, I did.
What you cook for dinner? Because we did everybody, but you wasn't on to say what you ate. What you fix?
I had leftovers.
All right, you ain't the only one on the screen that dropped that. What you had for leftovers? Is leftovers you made?
Yeah, it was
What
something
was
I
it?
made.
I
It was
want.
like
Oh, I thought she was finished.
it's
Sorry.
old school. It's just some beans and ground beef with peppers and onions. Some
What
old
kind of
school.
beans you use?
It's steakhouse grilling beans.
Okay. So okay,
Um,
so everybody had that. Now we're gonna go back to light brown. Thank you for the segment of dinner. I just wanted to point this out, and then light, you can have the floor before you beat me up. I just wanted to say, um, all these women up here, all these women's, I'm gonna add the S on that. All these women's up here cook. Like y'all supposed to, like I was thinking y'all was gonna say y'all Ubered or something. Like y'all really out here fixing food. So I just want to say I'm proud of y'all for doing that because a lot of women's don't cook. So
Amen.
I'm putting that.
Amen.
I'm just checking off a box for y'all because y'all cooking. Because Ari really cleans the whole rabbit up. You know what I'm saying? She'll make a whole rabbit. A Legend, she really go ahead and make all type of fish. Cookie really be swimming with the fish to catch hers. And, and
I do
light,
like to swim.
yeah, and then light really be like choking the life out them animals before she put them on the plate. And Sunday, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of Sunday. Sunday really be, feeding them animals like they part of the family before she put one in the oven. So, and then Sen, you know what I'm saying? You I ain't gonna get you today because you like quail, so I'm gonna send you about 4 of them. But
Thank you.
um, go ahead, like, cause you was about to say something. Should I ask the same question again, or did you want to piggyback off of what Cookie said?
no, I wasn't going to answer the question at this time. I just wanted to say, shout out to Diva Ditta. She's not with us tonight, but she's here in spirit. And let's keep it moving.
That's right.
For the record, she's still alive, y'all. She ain't dead or nothing. She just had a previous engagement. She said they saying that she said it like that. She eulogized her.
I did not.
Shut up.
I said she's not
Oh,
here.
Darren, I do want to add lack of emotional literacy to that question.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the question again, and then I'm gonna ask a few little caveat questions based off this first SAT question D&G put together. So the original question was, why are so many red pill and incel leaning black men louder online than they are productive in real life? And why do they demand submission from the very women they openly resent and rarely approach with confidence? So 2 questions. What the heck is a red pill and an incel? What's red pill, and then what's incel leaning black men?
Can we let Ivy say her thing for that
Yeah,
answer?
Ivory. What's an incel?
Oh Lord.
Borderline.
Borderline.
All right. So the catchphrase of the evening is borderline. And y'all, for those who just getting acquainted with these ladies, when you say borderline, what you mean?
Teeter tottering on the
Mm-hmm. Straddle
gayness,
the fence.
on
Yeah.
the
On the
sugar,
fence.
sugary
On the
timbers.
fence or other things.
They probably
Yeah,
done
that
tried,
too.
but they on the fence. They trying to stay straight.
They on that
Uh,
sugar.
Trying to stay straight is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Let me shout out to my sister Michelle
Fighting to
Turn.
stay straight.
Hi, Diva.
So she answered the first part. Red pill are men who lean heavy into misogyny and want to strip women of their rights. Sheesh.
And you know, the internet allows them to express extreme views without real life consequences.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a real good
And
Well,
A lot of people do that, unfortunately.
uh-huh.
Can I?
And a lot of those guys find support in echo chambers that amplify their frustrations
Yes.
and beliefs, you know, through the
there's
internet.
been some consequences lately, but I won't get
Well,
into
I want to say too. I think special education grew up, and it's sped ed met general ed. We don't belong in the same spaces. So a lot of these dudes took the short bus to school.
Who
Bad
highlighted?
hombre. He an
A lot
incel.
of it is
Who
is a
put
Oh,
lot
that?
of
there
these
she
guys
go.
insecurity too, because if they're not
Hey, Dida.
Sorry, Ira.
Sorry,
no, go
Well,
ahead.
you know, a lot of them have stunted development around 21, 22. So we have a lot of that going on too. A lot of frustration.
And cultural pressure,
Hmm.
I think there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
social expectations
undiagnosed.
around masculinity,
I
that's
Right.
think there's
why.
Yeah.
a bunch
right.
of undiagnosed mental illness as well and personality disorders running around.
Absolutely.
One of
All these.
y'all, one of y'all commented, shout out to Mr. Definitely. He said at the end of the day, unemployed, demanding submission, wanted to be acknowledged as a man, and all that are just symptoms of insecurity of those men.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That's pretty much what, yeah, that's
That's
along the
true.
lines of
That's
what I
it.
think. Yeah, unemployment
Yeah.
plays a big part in it, and
Oh,
frustration and insecurity.
Like,
I don't understand just because you have a bat and balls, you think every woman owes you submission. That's not how that works.
Right.
And we have an abundance of men that feel like because I'm a man, you supposed to submit to me.
right.
Doesn't
Di-
work like that,
all,
baby.
di-
all men aren't made to be leaders. The ones that lead are out here leading. The rest of them complain about not being allowed to lead.
listen, I just want to say this is stress-free environment. If anybody wants to spark a blunt or a cigarette or some wine or some champagne or eat sardines or you
These
know,
sardines, you
Way
said?
ahead
No
of you.
sardines.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
if you comfortable, go ahead and get comfortable, man. This one of them shows. See, yup, red cups on the table. Just for the record, for my Christian brothers and sisters, I am not advocating for you to do things that you feel like you shouldn't be doing. I'm just simply making sure that everybody in the place to be can gather and be themselves until we get to break down what needs to be broken down. We're breaking down
Absolutely.
walls and barriers.
Are you
Uh,
saying smoke Chiba?
oh yeah, go ahead and do your chiba. Just be
I'm
all things is permissible, but all things is not profitable. I don't know if that's the scripture. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
hey, could you ask the
Well, I
question
have no
again? I'm
alcohol
sorry, I
or
didn't hear.
marijuana drugs today.
Drink water. You want me to go to the next question? 'Cause
No, I
y'all-
thought you asked another question. I couldn't hear. I had a phone call. I'm sorry.
oh
Okay.
no, you good. We just we breezing through slowly. I want to make sure
Okay.
y'all are here. I just want to ask Sister Dida P, aka um, and say Sister Dida, you there? Deaconess,
Yo,
You said deaconess. I'm weak.
Deaconess Dida, you there? Cause I need to talk to you.
no
Cause
shit.
oh
Look,
man,
she
they
hopped up.
eulogized her. Whatever y'all did to get her here, it ain't last long. You know, Sister Michelle Turner say, I wanted them to, you right. I wanted them to let their head down. I wanted them to pull off they show that wig cover, whatever you call that thing, that bonnet.
A wig. Who ain't nobody wearing
Don't wear
wigs?
no
The
wigs.
bonnet.
Can
She
y'all hear me
said, "Oh,
now?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you
yeah."
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sister Ditta, Deaconess Ditta. I wanted to say I'm glad they raised you up like Lazarus because light unfortunately gave you a eulogy.
I did
And
not.
I was trying to figure out if you was alive or not. The way she set you up, I'm like, nah, she just busy right now. She be on when she can.
A minute ago, I wasn't very much alive. My stomach did a whole 360 on me. So yeah, that was what was going on. But I'm here.
All right, so let me ask you this then. What you
Yes,
fist for
sir.
dinner?
I didn't cook today. My daughter made homemade chicken and dumpling soup.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So y'all doing, but I just wanted to make sure. Pretty much every woman on here said that they did Marie calendars except for you.
Marie Calendar is really.
That's
Y'all,
crazy.
y'all in
Well,
here eating pot pies.
I learned from the women in my family and the men in my family.
All
That's
right,
how I learned how to cook.
all right. So
And I know Marie Calendar.
So let me ask you another question. Matter of fact, let me ask a question from the chat before I get to the next one. Mr. Definitely says, I have a question. If she is Ray Ray, who exactly is Pookie? Yeah, that's a good point. I be hearing that those
That was
Pookies
a
and Ray
good
Rays.
one, Sunday Cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
what
So
the
I
hell
need to
is
know what y'all said what red pill is. I mean, y'all said what incel is. What's red pill and what's a Pookie and what's a Ray Ray?
Actually, an incel's involuntary celibate
Yep.
person.
Okay.
Misogyny really is rooted in red pill.
Okay. Okay.
Misogyny and anger and some jealousy. Vagina envy, to be exact.
They be in there like rain on
It's
me.
really mental health issues. That's
And
that's
mental
really
health.
what it is.
That's what it boils
Yeah.
down to.
Like they blame women for everything, including the reason they don't have one.
I call it sandbox hurt.
Oh yeah, because they got
I
hurt in
always
the
tell
past.
them, I tell them, yeah, they was young kids in the sandbox. She took her toys from him and let Bobby play, and he's been hurt ever since and can't let it go. Let that sandbox hurt go.
Speaking of, I want to make sure Sister Ivory is here. Um, what? Because y'all was calling them. What's the word she was saying? That so hand. What was that called again?
Borderline.
Yeah,
Borderline.
borderline. The so hands. Number two. This is another. Yeah, yep. Those right there. Another SAT question from the desk of DMG. A lot of homosocial black men seem more comfortable impressing other men than building relationships with women. How much of their hostility toward black women is actually about rejection, fragility, and fear of emotional intimacy?
Probably say most
Oh,
of it, if not all of it.
Or Ivory, right? Just the Ivory.
Everybody can answer. I just know that
Oh,
she was calling them so. So
I say they seek validation and status from other men and avoid emotional exposure with women.
wow.
Equate vulnerability with weakness.
Mm-hmm. It's
Mhm.
some it's fragile masculinity. I guess that's a good word to use
Mhm.
for it. Um, yeah, because they're afraid of like rejection from women. Maybe they've been rejected a lot, but a lot of it is goes into their insecurities. I think it's all leads back to their insecurities.
well, for me, I believe that they pour into other men because a lot of them have daddy issues. A lot of these men were not raised with their fathers, so they go to other men trying to impress them, seeking validation. And when it comes to women, um, they do get rejection. Um,
Right.
and it's not because of what people think. A lot of these men, they have no charm, no charisma. They don't have any social skills. So a lot of the times that's why they're rejected by women because they don't know how to communicate with us.
Right.
Um, but some of these men do have rejection from childhood. I mean, whether be it from mother or father. But when it comes to them wanting to be around other men all the time and wanting validation from them, it's because a lot of these men didn't have fathers there. So they just want to show other men, look what I got, look what I can do. Show other men their shiny ball. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So,
I
um,
also know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, son.
it's I know one in particular in these back chats. He does it all the time, but um, it is just but that's really what it's all about. So they go to these men thinking that if I show you what I've done, I'll be accepted. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of people want to flaunt their successes, but it becomes a lot when you're putting down other people in the process. When
Because
you're
they need
telling
that
women,
validation and they are
yeah,
struggling with their
Right.
own sexuality at that point, and that's what makes them borderline.
yeah,
And not only that, Ivory, a lot of the fragility comes from, the racism and economic disparity and all that
hmm
stuff, social marginalization, but also they tend to tie um, sexual and romantic successes together.
right,
They can't formulate anything platonic, if you will. You're going to hear a lot of them back here say, oh, men and women can't be friends and all this stuff, or I didn't have female friends growing up and stuff like that. Well, to me, that's tied into lack of socialization, you
That's
know,
interesting.
and you're only looking at women as a sexual tool.
right.
I
You
had
have,
my first
you
ever.
have
And I
nothing else
also
to
say that
offer.
some of them don't have very likable personalities.
Yeah, they
They
don't have
don't
a
understand that
personality.
you have to have some kind of personality, and I mean a likable personality, where someone wants to actually sit down and
Right,
take a chance to get to know you.
hmm
Some
right.
of them, like automatically, it's a complete turn off. And a lot of them don't know how to read the room, so they need a lot of help. They are socially awkward individuals.
And they don't
And
have
those are the
emotional
ones that are the
literacy.
incels. Yeah, those are the ones that are the incels and the ones that you will hear talk against women the most because they want to be able to approach, but they can't because of their awkwardness.
Right. No social skills.
You
They
made
Also,
have
I
some
think
good.
it's easier for them to sometimes find people to co-sign their delusion instead of improving themselves and
hmm
making themselves
Yeah,
likable.
yeah.
It's much
And this
easier
is
to.
why you see a lot of men playing games together all day and night, especially the unemployed ones. They
Circle
like to hang
jerking.
around and joyride together and stuff because they're
hmm
seeking emotional attachment within themselves.
It's a
And
circle
and, and
jerk.
sometimes sexual, satisfaction as well, so it's a lot of layers to it, but it boils down to, for me at least, from what I'm seeing, is it mental illness, um,
Yes.
brokenness, childhood issues, that are unresolved and stuff, and just the lack of seeking out therapy to get themselves whole, because it turns into emotional fragility to where it's hostility is, shown out towards women.
Right.
You see what I'm
You
Okay.
saying?
also got
I
Right.
you
also,
also got to
Right.
remember a lot of them are crack babies too. And
I,
y'all
Yeah.
think I'm joking when I say that, and it sounds funny
Oh,
and
you're right,
everything,
Paula. You're
but
absolutely
they
right.
are. So they are not able to make those connections, and it's not just men; it's women too. But a lot of them, especially a lot of those incels, they are crack babies. So their
So
outlook
they lack a lot
on
of development in general
yes, their
overall.
mental development
When they display
is
when they
oh my
display
goodness.
those actions, we got to remember that
Mm.
aggression and all that mess is deeper issues about their identity.
Mm.
So until they confront they fears, and that cycle of hostility, the cycle of hostility will continue because, like, hey, that's who at their core, that's who they are.
Yeah.
And
So
they're
you
overly emotional
on
too.
point with that cookie, the
They
yeah.
mental.
are overly emotional.
So,
They tend to forget that anger is an emotion. They
Mm-hmm.
just be out here falling apart.
so,
Right.
hey, Nehemiah Ben Judah, DMG could teach some of you men something about being a man and being a husband, right? So, no, we're not talking about him on his channel.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that
Brother
comment.
DMG.
Let
And
me.
See,
Jason,
there's an example
hold
in the
on.
comments,
And
Shannon.
Jason, Freddie, Candyman. How do you know that we don't know? We're not basing our conversation around the men that we know that fit into this category. You know,
Mm.
Uh,
Well, he's actually an
don't,
example, D.
right, he is. Don't assume that we don't know men like this and we can't speak on it.
Right.
And Zion, we got to stop trying to put everything on the mothers.
Right.
We got to
That's
stop doing
crazy.
that.
Oh, because they didn't have the bed. They didn't have sex with themselves and get themselves pregnant. We are not asexual beings. A father has a responsibility also. Now, whether they choose to stay for that responsibility is a whole different story. That's a whole different show. But they do have
hmm
a responsibility as well. And to point the fingers, every time you point the finger, one finger at us, you point three or four back at yourself. So you
That's
got to
right.
remember that as well.
That's
let me
why,
ask
because the good
Candace
leaders I know, they accept
Mm.
accountability. I see
It's
too many people trying to pass the buck.
exactly.
Yes,
Accountability
man.
is accountability goes both ways, and accountability is on both sides of the coin.
It
So you can't
is.
just hold the mothers together, hold the mothers accountable, and not the fathers, and you can't hold the fathers accountable and not, just the fathers accountable and not the mothers also. So yeah, that's how that goes.
Yeah.
I'll ask, like, I always wonder, like, what is that about that men, we hear men say women lack accountability, but as soon as they're the topic of a conversation,
They
they
pass
don't
the buck.
want to take that accountability. They don't want to say, you know what, sisters, you're right. They try to throw the buck right back at women.
Well, this is what I
Wow.
want to say. It's funny how the panel is actually in a frenzy right now based off two questions. There's a few questions. There's questions actually geared to women too. If you guys just be patient and let the show
Right.
go the way it's supposed to go.
Sounds like hit
You will
dog
hear
holler
some things
syndrome.
about women as well. So stop crybabying back there and just listen and enjoy the show.
We're
Because if
doing the
it's not about you,
whataboutisms already.
if it's not about you, why
Yeah.
are you up here
Yeah,
in these
for the
chat?
record, these are questions that DMG put together
Right.
himself to ask to get them to respond in this fashion. Not that
Mm.
Yeah, I'm
they
trying to figure
didn't
out why
script.
they back there
Just to
crying
be
right now.
fair,
That's crazy.
Hit
they
dog
didn't script
holler.
this to come at men.
There's
Mm.
questions
This was
about women
designed.
too.
Yeah, there's questions. I just asked them in the order in which they was given. To be fair, I will ask a question geared to for men about women. I'll ask that now. I'll start
Mm.
with. I'll
Yes,
start.
Lone Wolf, because Lone Wolf feels like this is one sided. He's crying. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
go ahead and
Uh,
talk about the
We
women.
are women and we date men, so that's why we speak on men more often than women. If
I
y'all got questions
mean,
about a
Let me
woman,
know
just
if y'all
ask.
want to do a men's panel. Maybe I can get Mr. Definitely to host a men's panel on the
yeah,
channel where they
absolutely.
what do you call that when what is the my first question? This is Cannon's question. I know what red pill is, but do they have a pink pill? Is there a pill for like women, like a white pill, or what do you call the other pills where?
It's a
It's
pink
a pink
pill.
pill. It is a pink pill.
But you
Hmm.
know what? We're not. This panel of women are not so extreme, right? This panel of women can admit when women are wrong.
Hmm.
We can say, you know what, a woman shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
We can admit that. I don't understand. Like, I guess as time goes on and people get to know us, we're equal. We're 50-50. If a woman is wrong, she's wrong. If a man is wrong, she's wrong. But I have a suggestion, Cannon. Let's maybe cut some of the questions short and open up the panel for 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 one. I would like to have what is ombre come up here, whatever
Nah,
his.
he's out of
Hold
here.
on, I
He got
would
it.
rather and
Tell them to drop
or
their questions in the chat too.
maybe or whatever. Drop your questions in the chat. We
Yeah,
don't
we'll answer
mind.
whatever.
All
We
right,
don't
I guess
mind.
we'll ask two more questions, and then if y'all want to open up the panel at that moment, we can. We gotta
Yeah,
do some.
ask the questions,
But I
Cannon.
would have liked to hear. I would have liked to have heard Hombre's.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear him because he's the one who comes up here every show and he's more vocal about how he basically hates women. So I
Is
would have
that the
loved
one
Mm-mm.
that says he's a
a
black
rich
Republican?
Republican.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
He wants attention too.
I mean,
Every
it's
time we
okay, and
show.
we can. That's what we're here for. We're here to give them attention. We're here to give it to
Absolutely.
them. So it's fine.
Absolutely.
All right, so let me add. I'm gonna go with the next question. How much responsibility should Black women take for calling out the toxic behaviors within their own circles, like public humiliation, combative energy, and performative
Hmm.
masculinity, before demanding the Black men to change?
This is a
Good
That's a
question.
Yeah,
great.
fellas. Yeah,
listen.
drop a one.
That's a
Hey,
great.
men. Drop a one in the comment or a muscle or a flame emoji if you with me. Let me ask
That's
that
it.
question again. Hold on. Let me kick
Now this is a good question.
my
I was
screen.
gonna say that's a great question, King.
Let me ask this men's question one more time because I need the men. Well, I hate when the men leave right before we get to our part.
Yeah,
How
they don't
much
want to say.
responsibility
Oh,
should
don't leave.
no? How much responsibility should Black women take for calling out the toxic behaviors within their own circles, like public humiliation, combative energy, and performative masculinity, before demanding the Black men change?
I think we
I think we
should
should
be.
own that toxic. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, sis.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
No, go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll wait for you to finish.
No, 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 no. Because you was cut off last time. Go ahead, sis.
Go, did it?
Somebody talk.
I
See how women scared?
I think that no, I think that we should tap our sisters on the shoulder, right? I think we should
Hmm.
say, to the young women, or even women our age, maybe calm down a little bit and listen. Don't listen to respond. Listen to understand, right?
Hmm.
Um, Work on your self control. Work on your emotional intelligence. Yes, these are conversations that we should have with other women,
Mm-hmm.
right? But at the same time, we would have to know the whole situation as well. Um, Sometimes there's things that happen on male with male and females where it's just like mind blowing. Psh, I done went through this too long and now I'm at this point. But we should learn how to conduct ourselves. We should not be embarrassing ourselves in the street. We should not be embarrassing ourselves on TV or on the internet or any of that. So I do think that we have a diligence as women to tap these other women or young women on the shoulder, because the bottom line is the young women are gonna learn from their peers or their elders, and we should be setting a better example. But misters, let's get this straight. Don't ever think that it's okay to do certain things to a woman or say certain things to a woman and you're not going to get that clap back. And when you get that clap back, all of a sudden now she's masculine. But why is it that you're not acting in your feminine? And that's it. That's it. That's all.
I also think that we need to stop asking women to answer for the actions of other women that they don't even know, and stop trying to hold all women accountable for for the actions of some, because I, I mean, if we're going to be judged by the worst of us anyway, what's the point of being productive or doing anything the right way if we're only going to be judged and held accountable for the worst of our behavior? Like, I have nothing to do with no other woman I don't know. She does not represent me. I do not represent her. I think we need to stop subscribing to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does that go
We,
both ways though? So do you
Yes.
feel like
yes, we're
do I
not on a
have to be
monolith.
accountable for somebody that I never met before?
Yes, it goes both ways.
All right,
But
bet,
I,
bet.
Right.
I
It's a
I
and
two-way
I
just want to
street.
often
make
tell men, I notice that men like to speak for other men a lot. And I often tell them, just speak for yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they speak for men that they don't know. They'll try to tell us no man nowhere ever do this and all, and it's crazy. Like, speak for yourself, because everybody is an individual and everybody do their own shit. So I wouldn't die on that hill if I was you.
yeah.
I
For
had
the
a guy
record, I
argue
did
me.
put the thing in the
Oh,
chat though. If there is a man that want to give some pushback, I did release uh the link so that you could come up on the panel within reason.
Okay, well,
I
I
got
would
into a
say
disagreement the
women,
other day
we
with
can
this guy.
call each other out,
Go ahead.
point it out.
Hmm.
Um, and also, women got to know if you're bringing combative energy, that's a two-way street. So
Mm-hmm.
don't expect men to be soft or go a soft route when you bring in a certain energy.
Right.
Um, and I also think that we should embrace traits like aggression and toughness as a way to prove strength is counterproductive.
Right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so pretty much, if you want to be seen as a partner, you got to drop the act or competition or whatever you want to call it, and let it be about collaboration when for male and female, so that we can get along.
Hmm.
But that's just my thoughts.
I think if anybody has watched any of us shows, we absolutely do not think men are a monolith, right? Because
No.
Mm-hmm.
we have we got some crybabies. We got some stand up men. We got men who aren't asking to be leaders. They just are leaders, and they
Yep.
don't have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to beg for that. We it's all different types of men, just like there's all different types of women. So these echo chambers of the few, they're so loud that the ones who are the majority really they just still overshadow them because the
They're
echo
drowned
chambers
out.
so loud. They get drowned out. So
The squeaky
respect to
wheel gets
all
the
of
oil.
you. Respect to
Mhm.
all the men who are man's men, right? Because to me, a man when he walks in a room, his aura, his presence demands respect from men and women alike. And he never has to ask for that
Right.
at all. So
I like that. I like that.
So, Cannon, I do want to say something about the question that you had just asked. So, when it comes to us taking responsibility for calling out other women, I know women do call out other women. A lot of times, but these women are called pick me's, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
let's be clear, like some of these they do be pick me's, right? Because they're
Is
they're
that a
putting
bad thing?
down they're putting down women for the attention of other men, but you absolutely have women that do check other women because they want women to do better, so it can kind of it can get kind of mixed, right? But I've seen it on both sides. um but I feel like as women we should call out other women for bad behavior because again, if we don't check ourselves or the women around us, then these men are going to continue to come in and place labels on us. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like if we're going to work on our sisterhood, we have to work on it. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to be able to say, well, Cookie, you did this, Light, you did this, or blah, 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 whatever, and take some accountability and move on. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even back here in these back chats, it's a lot of it's a lot of bickering and back and forth and no accountability and combative and it's just like for no reason, right? And it's just like as women, why can't we uplift each other? We have men at our throats all the time. It's well, not in my real life, but on social media, we encounter men all the time that are negative towards us. And then here comes, the women. And it's just like we have to start building positive social circles. And as Cookie called it, behavior correcting. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? The way we do it may not be the best way, right? But I just feel like, we should be more supportive and uplifting, but we have to hold each other accountable for our bad actions.
I hear
Like
you.
Can
Accountability
I
is
add? Can
very
I add? Can you hear
important.
me? Can I add to that also?
Go
The
for it.
other part of that too is you have to also understand. I think as women, we have to stop seeing each other. We have to stop being in competition with each other so
yes.
constantly, and being to
Mhm.
try and be a little bit more accepting of someone with their constructive, because the way you say things, the constructive criticism. Like there's no need for us to be combative anywhere because there's always enough space for us all to do what we
Yep.
need to do. So if I see someone that someone in my circle that's doing something they don't have no business doing, they're coming this way, that their energy is off or it's a problem, I will speak to them and I'll be like, listen, what's going on? Like, what's up? Because it could be just that if it's a one-off thing, then I'll sit down and talk to you about it. But if it's something that I see constantly, then eventually we're gonna have to it's gonna have to be a discussion had, and your stuff has to be put out there, and you have to be, you have to have an answer. You need to be made aware of these things because sometimes you're aware and then sometimes you're not. Sometimes that's just that
Mhm.
people feel like, oh no, that's just them. That's the way they are. Nah, they got to be made aware. And I think that for us, it is a responsibility of us, especially if you call someone your friend or you call someone an associate, and this is someone who's in your circle. I really believe that it is up to us to really get together and have a conversation around that person.
Absolutely.
Now,
That
whether they
brings
accept it is a whole different story, but we can at least say that, you know what, we made an effort.
let
Right.
me
Right.
let me take that to the next level. Why do certain black women weaponize independence, competition, and trauma as shields, then get offended when men and women say it's difficult to love someone who refuses to soften, trust, or be vulnerable?
Wait,
Ooh,
huh?
can I start that? Can I start that?
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
this
a
is
good one.
Because
Yeah.
I'm
that's a
next.
Go,
Go
good
go,
ahead,
one.
get her.
Diddle.
Okay, so let me just tell you, for us, especially with black women, we've had to carry, especially if we've had to carry a load for so long, if we've had to take on the responsibility of maintaining a household, maintaining children, and we've done this and we've been carrying this for a long time, and with no help, even sometimes, even though you're married, you still are doing it by yourself. You could be in a relationship with the person and the person is there and you still maintaining that by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a point where you feel like you have to be uber strong. So that means you have to be uberly independent. You're going to do this because if you don't do it, this is what your mindset ends up being. If you don't do it, it's not going to get done. Right. So that's where the independence comes out of. And, at one point, I'm going to be honest with you, back in the 90s, that was what we were singing about. That was what we was talking about. It was wonderful for us to be seen as independent because we
Right.
could get out there and make our own money. We could get out there and buy what we want. And that has transcended for the past at least 30 years. Men I understand are upset because they're like, oh, that's a strong, independent woman. I don't need her. But they don't need us. But that's not really what it was. What it was said back then was that I may not want a man. No, I don't need a man, but I want a man. They always just focus on that first part, right? Those same independent women don't know how to release that because it's so ingrained into them. It's so ingrained into their DNA that it's difficult for them to actually release that and let it go because they're so used to being in control and
Yeah.
having that control. To release it,
Yeah.
they're scared. It's a fear there.
Want me to
It's
re-ask
a
Mm-hmm.
the
fear.
question again after the dinner is done, just so y'all can get that in there. The question was, why do certain black women weaponize independence, competition, and trauma as shields, and then get offended when black men and women say it's difficult to love someone who refuses to soften, trust, or be vulnerable? Just for
Uh,
those who just joined the chat.
I have a thing, right? Some people are raised on love, and others are raised on survival. So when you have someone who's raised on survival, they're always in survival mode.
Hmm.
So someone who absolutely understands what love is, someone who has emotional intelligence, it's always going to be mind-boggling to them why this person is in survival mode. So I think at that point that you're going to enter a relationship with somebody, you guys got to sit down and discuss your trauma. You got to discuss boundaries. You got to discuss things because what you want to see is your demons are play well together in the dark, but will they play well together in the light?
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue that I see, and why some women and men at that, both do that on both ends.
Well, when it comes to why women weaponize independence, I don't think they're necessary. Well, because I'm one of those women, right? Yeah, I'm very independent, but I don't weaponize it, right? I don't tell a man, oh well, blah, 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 blah. Like no, if you want to come into my life and you're a man, you're going to automatically lead because you're going to present that dominance, and I'm going to know to stand down, right? Um, but men look at independence as a bad thing, and it's not, right? Because I know growing up, I used to hear, "Oh, y'all gold diggers," and da 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 da. Women got tired of hearing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like women really got tired of hearing, "Oh, you only want him for his money and X, Y, and Z." But now that we're making our own money, it's a problem. So it's not that we're weaponizing it; it's just it's being used against us. So
Hmm.
you know, and what men don't understand is because women had to assume the role of the head of household, we have to be go getters and money makers. So I mean, again, that's an insecurity on their part, not ours. Um, Now I do feel like when it comes to the trauma part, women do they do play around with that. But I think it's more so they just need some understanding, just like with a man, But I just feel like trauma and emotions are really nothing to play with. I just feel like um don't and let's just say, men and women have parental issues, they didn't grow up in healthy households or, they've had bad relationships. I've heard women who have, they've been hurt, maybe raped or molested, and they hold it against every man that
Hmm.
they've been with or that approaches them. And again, it goes back to knowing yourself. So if you know that this is a boundary for you, or, or a situation for you, you have to do some self-reflection and some healing. Go get you some therapy, go get you some help because if you're not healed, you cannot go into the world looking for a mate or a companion and you're still triggered by the little things. You know what I'm saying? It's just so I don't know. I just and it's on both parts. Again, we just we all gone through something. We haven't had the best experiences, but I just think for women, they do. They take their trauma out on men. I've seen it. is I've definitely seen it. I've had friends to do it. I'm not gonna go into certain details, but I've had to tell a few of my friends, like, this has happened to you because, you're still holding on to something that your father did to you or your first husband, so it's just, we have to do a lot of self-reflection and understand that we can't let our traumas be reflected onto somebody else. So
I have a cousin that was traumatized growing up, and extremely successful, very successful, has a couple books out, just making six figures, got a few homes in different states and stuff, doing really well for herself. But she has weaponized her success. She has emasculated a few guys along the way, throwing her success in their faces, especially the ones that made less than her and stuff like that. And we had to tell her, hey, you got to kind of chill out. We all come from the same cloth. You know what I'm saying? So our paths are different, of course, but just pertaining to her and her growing up and the trauma that she received, she had to overcompensate what she did not have growing up. So now it's like everything's bought. You got to have everything, just everything. And it's just like, others on the other hand, we come from humble beginnings, right? And we didn't come off like that, so yes, some women do that. Some women do use their trauma, like Sin said, to play around with and emasculate men out of anger. But see, it's more trauma based to where they're not seeking therapy. They're not seeking healing. It's just me against the world type thinking, to where they want to tear men down and stuff like that. So there's just no accountability on that aspect. But as far as me and my circle and people that are in my family and stuff, we definitely hold the women in there accountable, because women do fuck shit too.
Okay. I'm getting questions in the comments. One brother said he wanted to see a picture of your cousin for research purposes.
No, sir. Next question.
And then I put on the screen. Jason Freddie Candyman said, "Are any of the women on the panel married?"
I want Jason to come up on the panel. I asked him to hit the link because he seems to think that marriage is the end all to be all. And people have been in relationships for decades, raised children, raised decades of children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and never went and got married. I don't understand what this whole piece of paper thing is making it. Is that supposed to make it perfect? Because there's single married mothers, there's married men and women in abusive marriages. So I don't understand. I just don't ever get that question.
I just think they try to push that so hard because that's what they feel they control. They feel they control marriage.
Right.
The link is
so
in it.
They try to tie your value into if a man has chosen you or not.
Right. Which has no value at all.
When at the end of the day, the woman still has to accept your proposal. Like,
and not all women
don't control it.
Not all women can be married anyway, so we can hang that up.
Well, Jason, I was not married, but I was in a long-term relationship. I have been in long-term relationships.
Yes.
So, what is that? So you said you were just asking a question. You didn't care about what anybody else. You was talking about us. So, well, I was in a long-term relationship that ended not that long ago. So,
come on up, Jason.
What else would you like to know?
Yeah, I was in a long-term relationship over a decade. Fortunately, I wasn't married, so I didn't have to go through a divorce.
Can black women be soft like
long-term relationships?
Can black women be soft like white women?
But you know what's weird, guys? Like they feel like marriage is the end all be all because I mean I don't know. Like marriage doesn't save you from emotional distress. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't save you from dysfunction or anything like that. I know. I mean I have several of married like so many of my friends are married and like their marital issues crazy, and it's like they call me, you know, and tell me, you know, they feel like single mothers and they're married. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like being married does not save you from going through any of these issues at all.
I literally
If you
just think
look
it's
at
a
the
way
divorce
to
rate in
devalue
this
women.
country, marriage absolutely doesn't save anything. It doesn't speak for anything, and it doesn't hold anything.
It
The marriage
doesn't.
rate is over 50. I mean, the divorce rate is over 50%. So at this point, what is marriage? And the thing about it is to ask that question. Nowadays, there are plenty of men now who are saying they don't want to get married, just like there are plenty of women saying they don't want to get married
You have a lot of unhealed people getting married,
and
and
taking that time out on each other,
yeah,
girl.
like
I think it's just literally just a way to devalue women, and they
of
don't really
course,
care for real.
yeah.
Getting real. Yes, I have two grown daughters. Wow, Jason.
I'm
Too
And
looking
many
four
broken people
grandkids.
are hooking up. We need healing. We
I'm
I
need
think
healing
looking
to
for
happen.
also a lot of people think just because a woman is not married that the father is not 100% a staple in the children's lives.
Right,
That's another
exactly.
Mhm.
misconception that people think. You know, and most people who have children are at least cohabitating. Single
About
just falls under a tax bracket.
That's it.
I was about to say
That
it's a
is
lot of
Exactly.
it.
people in that
He
single
said
mother
it.
category living with their
He,
children's fathers and co-parenting
right.
in the same
He said
household.
it. He said
Right.
it's not really about
It's literally
marriage. It's
just a
actually
marital
about
status.
successful relationships. But we've had successful relationships, and then we've had unsuccessful relationships. Everyone does. So we can speak from a perspective of being in a successful relationship. We can also speak from what didn't work in the relationships and the things that we saw and what we got out of it. So experience is what we're speaking from. Things that we've seen that has happened with others that we've observed, and what we, this is what we're speaking on.
You know,
Experience, I think, is probably one of the best teachers that you have because it's something that's with you. No one can change your experience. Of when you've gone through something, no one's going to change that experience for you because you've experienced it. No one else may have done it, but you did.
Right.
I want to touch on
marriage.
what the brother Shabazz said that we're the only group of women in the world that doesn't value marriage. Conversely, that same group limits issues with money and family. Okay. I think you need to look at statistics. I think you need to see that other groups of women are not valuing marriage anymore either. So
Nope.
when you guys always try to frame everything that everything is us, I don't think y'all really be looking around the world. Like it's crazy.
It's a tunnel.
They
It's
keep
like a
not,
tunnel vision. It's a
Right.
they
tunnel
choose
vision on
not to
Black
focus
women
on
in
that.
America.
Because I'm gonna
Jason
tell you
says,
something. Caucasian women are not wanting to get married like that either because they don't. The problem is a lot of men don't understand the amount of emotional labor that a woman actually has to go through within a marriage. They do not understand that. They don't understand what it takes. That is why the statistics show that married women die faster than single women. Because for a single woman, you only have to worry about yourself. For a
Yeah.
married woman, that's a lot of labor. It's not just the fact that okay, we may be going 50-50. It's not that. It's the amount of work that it takes as a wife. You got to stand on your husband and make sure he does everything he's supposed to do. When he doesn't show up or when he doesn't do what he has to do, who has to pick up the slack? The woman. Then you
Mm-hmm.
turn around and if you have to work, you're also working a job, so you have a career as well. Okay, you have your children that you're taking care of also because in this economy it's very difficult not to have a two income household. You really need it. Okay, but then you got to
Mm-hmm.
stand on your husband. Listen, I need you to go to the doctor to make sure that you're okay. I need you to go get your prostate checked. I need you to go get your colon. You got to stand on. You have to do that for every member of your family. You have to show up.
And you know what,
Okay,
Didda?
so
Lis- Go
That's
ahead.
why. That's why a lot of. I'm sorry, baby. That's why a lot of women now are like, "Why am I going to go through all of that? You're an adult. As an adult male, I should not have to stand on your back for you to go and take care of yourself and do the things you need to do for yourself." That's
Jason
Mhm.
right.
says men talk bad about women but produce unsuccessful relationships too.
Right.
Jason
So
also
I
listen,
said,
so
agree,
so I want
Jason.
to
hold on.
piggyback. Go
Jason
ahead.
also said that she's a woman, not a single woman with kids. I mean, single women with children. You have people like me who the man died, right? So that makes me a single woman with children, right? You have women who were in relationships and it just didn't work. Just
Right.
because it didn't work doesn't mean that your life is over. Why do y'all keep putting this thing of, oh, you couldn't keep a relation? Listen, people grow apart. And sometimes people realize that they're going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But
Because
listen, so I want to
Seasons
touch on what
change.
Dita said. So I want to touch on what Dita said because with all of that, taking care of the husband and making sure he doing what he's supposed to do, being a lover, being a teacher, a mother, all of that. What she failed to say was taking care of herself. We put everything in front of us and we neglect to take care of ourselves. And then these men, they fail to understand. That's why a lot of women, they feel the way they do in their marriages or relationships because while they're taking care of everybody else, they're neglecting themselves. But once they start putting themselves first, it's an issue. Oh, you're not a good wife, or who you doing this for? You cheating, you doing this. And it's just like, but listen, I'm taking care of you, making sure you doing what you gotta do. I'm taking care of the
Mhm.
kids, I'm sucking the dick, I'm feeding the kids, all of this. Why can't I go get my hair done? Why can't I get my nails done? Why can't I go out? But as soon as you start showing that care for yourself, it's a problem. And that's why a lot of women
Mhm.
nowadays are like, it's not worth it.
Steve,
Right.
come on and join us up on this panel because I like what you're saying.
less
Someone else said,
successful.
"Where do we get our what you call it from? Where do we get our statistics from?" That was from the black. I think it was the
Black
black marriage,
demographic.
whatever. Yeah, black demographics for showing that.
Steve says less successful marriages is systemic. Children want to see their mother and father together, but not necessarily in a marriage.
Right.
Well,
No, they
They,
don't
Zion,
really.
I
They
don't
probably
think
wouldn't
so
even
much.
know.
they
Zion,
need to see.
I don't think it's so much as opinion, right? Nothing is absolute. All of the everything in life has nuances. So where we have seen successful marriages, right? To we have seen some that weren't successful. So we aren't saying that there aren't successful marriages. No, people get married every day. We're not saying that, but what we're saying is that people put so much on marriage, but a lot of times they don't look at the what you don't see in that marriage, right? Because some people are good at stepping out and everybody's like, yeah, relationship goals and blah, 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 blah. But we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. And we have to actually look at that as well.
We got a full panel, y'all. There's other people trying to get up. I just got a message that somebody wanted to come up at the Zion. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna be short. I don't, and I'm
okay.
not trying to start no arguments or anything like that. But I do want to make a. I don't know who's why. Oh my God, you want to call me right now? Let me call you back, Brody.
Oh, I hear another one.
All right, I'm gonna call you right back.
Sassy.
All right, apologize. All right,
Borderline.
all right, that's my brother. I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of this stuff when it comes to like marriages. A lot of marriages are declining, not solely because of internal conflict between men and women. A lot of this is becoming an issue because of social changes in our culture. All right. It's not to blame men or female. We're all in a culture that is changing faster as technology and social things begin to change. Our direction begins to change in how we perceive life and our needs, our roles and our careers and everything. Those are the things that are really impeding marriages, not necessarily that it's all about male and female. Now, I will say this, yes, we do have a lot of trauma within our community that has to be addressed within men and female. I, am a adamant, person who supports mental health and counseling. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for years, and and still, you know what I mean? I've had 3 9-year relationships. I'm very proud of those relationships because they were very successful relationships up until the point where our directions went, you know what I'm saying, other places. And I still have good communication with, you know what I'm saying, with them. So, but what I will say is, you know, when we start, so a lot of this culture of man shaming and women shaming is a lot of media stuff, and I would say it probably started somewhere around the 70s. I'm gonna do a whole thing about not necessarily just on marriage, but the change in culture and the change of our mindsets that have taken us from to different directions. So I do agree with a lot of you sisters about this. And it's not to try to place it all of the, all of the energy or the burden on women, and nor to just blame it all on men. And what I don't like is when people say, oh, you know, like right now, men are supposed to be totally stoic and totally emotionless. I come from a time period where men would sing, and they would sing from their hearts, and they would grasp the air and tears would fall out of their eyes. I don't have a problem with saying that I am emotional and I am a man and I'm masculine about it. So I don't like that shaming thing. That kind of freaking that's not right. You know what
Can
I
I
mean?
ask you a question, Diane?
Who said men aren't supposed to be emotional?
I'm
Who
just
said men
saying,
aren't supposed
I'm
to be
not saying that
emotional?
anyone said it here. I'm just saying in general, this is what I've been hearing a lot in oh, you emotional. I like one girl attacked me on a different panel. Oh, you being emotional. Why? Because I was excited about a specific, I wasn't even angry or upset. I was actually happy and I was excited and passionate about what I was about to say. And she, because it was disagreeing with her, her first attack was to attack my masculinity by saying that is a low kick. That is that is effeminizing. And we have to stop doing that. We have to allow our men and our women to be able to express themselves and their feelings. This is, I mean, come on now. Everybody has feelings. Men shouldn't express feelings the same way as women, and women shouldn't express feelings. Well, you can't say that necessarily. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, a woman might be required to man up on some stuff. And sometimes a man might be required to be a nurturer. You know what I'm saying? As a single father, I had to nurture my son, not just be the tough guy trying to teach him how to be, oh, you got to be tough. No, I had to be sweet and calm when he got bruises, kiss him and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is that our culture is changing. We have to be mindful of that. And with all of the social media, the flood of information and all of these things that we're watching on television and on social media and stuff, we're getting caught up into what people are trying to create a narrative when that narrative is not even, it's not sound, and it's not even psychologically based in any form of psychoanalysis.
I
You
think
understand what
that
I'm saying?
Can I
I
ask the
think
question?
hold on,
Was it a, was it,
can y'all
go
hear
ahead,
me?
baby.
I
Yes,
Yes.
go
think
ahead.
that the narrative that all of these things happen because of social media is bullshit.
I'm not saying
Like,
all of it.
I'm not talking about what you're saying, right? Because I'm reading, also reading. I think it's bullshit
Go
because
ahead. I'm listening.
there's
I'm listening in the chat.
there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Anything that we're seeing now, trust me, our parents saw, our parents'
Mm-hmm.
parents saw. They just
Exactly.
didn't have social media to highlight it.
Right.
So when
Thanks,
we
Zion,
sit
for
here,
joining the platform.
yeah, thank you, Zion. When we sit here and try to be like, oh, it's social media making this happen and this happen. No, these things have been going on. Now, does it play a part in it being exposed more? I absolutely would agree. But let's stop acting like this stuff wasn't happening. I love when I sit and I talk with my elders and I talk about some of the things that the social issues that's going on today, and they be like, "Baby girl, it was worse back then,
Right.
or
You
it
ain't
was
doing
just at the
nothing
same."
new.
But you're not seeing nothing new.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Right.
think that people have to stop with this false narrative of, oh, women back then weren't this way, or men back then weren't this way. Bullshit.
Yes, the hell they were.
They were.
I
Women didn't
asked the
dress a
question.
certain way. Women
I
didn't
was in
dress
the
a certain
KS.
way back
Go
then.
ahead, baby. I,
Bullshit. They did. Like if you sit and you talk with your elders, you'll get a whole different story.
Hmm.
I
It's
was
a
in the
different
KFC
time.
one day and I asked a question. Well, someone was talking about how they wanted a woman like their grandmother, and back in their grandmother's time, this happened, and back when their grandmother this, and back when their grandmother and their grand. I said, do you seriously, really, really want a woman like your grandmother? Seriously, because back when your grandmama and your great grandmama were in relationships, they wasn't half the stuff that these women nowadays put up with. They definitely wasn't putting up with. Them women would cut differently. It was cut from a different cloth.
They're
They had
cut
no
to
problem going upside a man's head. They had no problem cutting them, stabbing them, throwing.
shooting them.
Listen, they didn't play that. So I don't know if you want to go back to that time. One dude got, no, my grandmother was never like that. You don't know that because you wasn't around, sir. You wasn't even a twinkle in your mama's eye. Your mama
Brother
might
should,
not have been around.
Oh, they
brother
were
should
busting it wide open too. They was busting it
Yeah.
wide open
muddy
back
waters.
there. Come on now.
Brother Shabazz, I don't think you understood what I said. Right? I said social media is highlighting the things that are not new now. That's what I said. No,
You gotta
Steve, let me tell you
listen.
something, Steve. Let me tell you something, Steve. These women were sexy in the 70s, in the 60s. They wore low cut dresses that cut down to the navel or cut down to the crack of their behind. Listen, let's not play. I done seen some pictures. I done
They
seen
wore
some
hot
pictures and they
pants.
were fly. They wore hot pants and high boots.
Mm-hmm.
They did a lot of these things.
Shorts. Shorts.
I just
Oh,
added the link
Shannon,
back to the
you
chat
don't
for
know what.
anybody else
How
who
old was your
wants to speak.
grandmother, Shannon, when she had her first baby? If you go find a birth certificate, I guarantee you she was around 15.
Oh,
I guarantee you. You know, we don't sound slow. Y'all just hate to hear it. Y'all hate to hear it. Them women back then, because we're a little older, them women back then, they were forced into shit at very young ages with grown men.
A
See,
lot
but
of them
y'all don't
didn't
want
get
to
married.
talk about that.
Yeah, they didn't get married because they wanted to. They got
right.
married because they had to. A lot of times, depending on where your family was from, especially down south, in order for your family to make it, if your grandparent, your great grandparents, or even your great grandparents, if they had a lot of kids and one of them was getting married off, she got married off because that was one less mouth to feed in that household.
That's right.
Okay, so at 15, 16, they was getting married
I'm gonna
and
add this.
going out and setting
Somebody
up
else
their
up on
own
the
household.
screen. We got about 10 minutes, y'all. We're gonna wrap up in 10 minutes.
That's
Gotcha.
Testing 1, 2.
This is good. Yes, sir. Looky here. Man good, women bad. Here he go. What's going on, sir?
Hey, how y'all doing tonight, y'all? I just been in the comments, right? And I've been reading the things and listening to y'all talk about the things and stuff like that there, right? And what had happened was see, nobody want to get married no more because people see marriage as the end of their independence. And that's not what marriage is. Nobody wants to actually be a team and work together. This is why when we see on social media and everybody doing these interviews and all of that, it's always, what you gonna do for me? What can you do for me? What have you done for me lately? It's always.
Amen.
And the reason why is because nobody want to be in a relationship with someone. They want somebody to be in a relationship with them. They want somebody to cater to them, do things for them, make their lives easier on both sides. When it's supposed to be a team, it's supposed to be a whole team. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna make this work together. We're gonna stay. That's like Dida was talking about earlier with the grandmamas and all of that. She didn't tell not one lie. The same way back in them days, grandpa had a family around the corner. Some of your grandma kids wasn't for grandpa either. And you know what grandpa did? He gave them kids his last name and he raised them babies because that's how they were cut from a different
And grandma too. Grandma
and
took them kids in his kids that he brought home and raised them as her own.
right. So
Yeah.
people want to talk about the good old days and all of that type of stuff and don't understand how that stuff actually really worked because they were cut from a different type of cloth back then. you didn't want to be embarrassed, so that's where the shotgun weddings and all of that come from. You're not bringing shame to the family and all. Like, it was a whole different other time, and I think that people fear that so much, and they associate that with being married. The whole shotgun married, being stuck with somebody they don't want to be with, and all of that. A lot of men scared to lose they $5 that they got in their wallet if they get divorced, because a lot of people ain't got nothing no way when we started. Look, if you want to actually be in a real relationship, this go for men and women, then date with the intention to get to know people. If you're if where the first date is and how much a man pay is important to you, you don't really want to be with that man. You're not interested in that man, because if you like him, you like him. And you're willing to, and y'all willing to grow together. Stuff like having a job and be able to take care of themselves, those should be a given, not a prerequisite like on a checklist. At hello, after the first 5 minutes of talking on the phone, and you should be able to have the ability to have the discernment to decide whether or not this is something you want to take forward or not. Now, I can't lie, a lot of men gonna say whatever because they're gonna still want to hit, even if they don't want to be with that woman. But then you got to accept the consequences that come with that. You are in control of your wee. So if you don't strap up and you shoot up the club, you can't say, oh, she got pregnant and she put me on child support. No, that's what you wanted. You wanted that because you went in with your gun without a muzzle, without socks. So you stepped in the water without socks on your feet. Now you wondering why your feet cold. And that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. All
I
right,
think that people don't. I think people don't understand dating, right? I think people don't understand that there's casual dating, and then there's exclusive dating. So if you're exclusively dating, that means you're having intentions on taking it further. But if you're casually dating, you're just casually dating. And casually dating does not equate to having sex with everyone. So, yeah.
I threw one more link out there for anybody else that want to come up before we wrap up. Any other man? The last guy, he was preaching a little bit. I feel him though. Shout outs to the men in the chat that stood tall, because a lot of times men hear women saying what they say and then they dip off. As you can see, I'm hosting the show on Ladies Night. I need the men to drop a solid fire emoji for me, since I'm in the eye of the storm. Where's my appreciation at, men?
But you know what, Cannon? You know us. You talk to us on a daily. You know that we are very fair in our thinking. You
Y'all
know that.
evil too, but we ain't gonna get into that today.
Well, you
Oh,
know,
nobody
So we
evil.
ain't had an evil moment yet.
No,
Ain't
no,
nobody
y'all been
evil,
pretty good.
Cannon.
Y'all been pretty good. Y'all been pretty good. Y'all the good. You know how the white man be like, I'm one of the good ones and shit. Y'all some of the good ones. You know what I mean?
Are there any more people coming up on the panel?
Any other men that want to
Yeah,
step
y'all
up
got
on the
yeah,
panel,
yeah,
just
we
say
had
just say your
Don't
piece.
be scared. Don't be
Right
scared.
don't be scared. We're not going to jump down your throat or anything like that. We actually are, if you really pay attention, we're actually open to having a discussion. We let you speak. You see, we let dudes speak. We didn't really interrupt them like that. Try
We're
not
very
to.
friendly. We don't bite.
Come on up here,
Exactly.
Deji.
Unless you
I'm
want us
nice
to.
though.
Unless
I'm
you want
nice.
us to.
Shout outs to the fellas in the chat that support it. Mr. Cad, what's going on, Quincy? Lone Wolf, shout out the original, what did it say? Original and airtight. Um,
Yeah.
Mm,
it's a couple guys in there. If I ain't Hemi was in here earlier, Zion.
Mhm.
Steve.
Appreciate you
Okay.
guys.
wait, can I say something to
Even if
add
we
Brother
don't agree.
Shabazz? Because he said in our scenarios, everyone's grandfather was Mr. From the Color Purple. Nobody said that. I don't think
Nobody
we
said
even
that.
alluded to that. What we were basically
Not at
trying to
all.
say was that at that time, if you notice, we didn't really focus on the men. We were focusing more on grandma. We were talking about her and what she was going through. So back then, this was what, especially like I said, especially down south and more rural areas, these were the things that was going on. In any scenario, there's always a little bit of truth. Yes, that was a movie, but that was a movie. If you look at it, there was some truth in that movie. You can't tell me that there were not there was not women that were married off to these men and treated the way that he treated her. But
Yeah.
that was a generational thing, because look at his pappy, right? But what we're basically trying to say is, what you're not understanding, is that
a lot of times women were put into these situations, well, girls, because they were young. They were put into these situations that they were not necessarily ready for, but
Hmm.
they had to adapt. Nowadays, we have more discernment. Then they didn't really have a choice.
Right.
Now, after the 70s, we did have more of a choice because we had rights. They didn't have no rights back then. So they were basically, for the most part, at the whims of their husbands.
Yeah. And
Right? They
also
were, it
too,
was whatever the husband said they had to do. They couldn't fight it. How was they gonna fight back? Don't get me wrong. There was some that did. Like I said, you had some women that didn't play that. They didn't care what the husband had to say. It was a shot, it was a stab, it was a cut, it was a burn, it was some hot grits, it was some hot grease. They didn't care. But then you had there was the others.
I don't think these men really understand why women fought for rights so much because of the things that was happening to them.
Mm-mm.
Right?
mhm,
I don't think you guys actually went back and studied it. You think that women are just saying these things because we just have mouths. No, these things were happening. You could
yeah,
go back to the 1800s and hear women
historically, yeah.
and historically and read about women talking about the treatment that they got from their husbands or their
But
brothers
listen,
or
but not
their
even that,
fathers,
right?
their cousins.
But
Like,
we
come
didn't say that,
on.
brother Shabazz. That's not
Yeah,
what we said.
but listen, not even that though, because culturally, and not just in our culture, marriage has always been a financial arrangement, or a financial contract. It's been where, in many cultures, marriages are arranged. And it has nothing to do with love. By, when this girl turns a certain age, they already know who she's going to marry. Or, you have some cultures where, you know what, I'm going to give you my daughter for 3 cattle, some sugar, and some corn. You know what I'm saying? So people don't understand, like, that's where marriage comes from, and it's not that far back. You know what I'm saying? So, 60, 70 years ago, you did have these men marrying 15-year olds because the families were giving these daughters to these men. It wasn't because of love. You know what I'm saying?
Nope, it
So,
was what
and these
it
young
was what
girls had to
dowry they
go
bought.
through, these young girls at 15 years old are now married to men 30, 35. Matter of fact, we were in the KS
Grown
group.
men.
We
Grown men.
were, we, yeah, we were in the KS group. And this man was telling us that, I think you was there.
Still
And this
have
man was telling us about how his grandmother was 15 and his grandfather was like 30, 35 years old. Like, come on now. Like,
his
in what world
mother
is that okay?
and his mother was 14 and his
Yeah.
father was in his 30s and she had a baby every year for 15 years.
Yes. And he
That's
thought it was
crazy.
okay.
That's
He
And he
thought
said
abuse.
it
that
was
was okay.
okay.
That's abuse.
But
I'm
Steve,
sorry.
we're not, so white supremacy oppress black people too. But you have to really historically, and you're a historian, Steve, you can look this up. This is fully documented. You can go back and see why women were trying to fight because of the oppression that they were getting from their own men. Like, we have to stop pretending like this stuff didn't
Didn't
happen.
happen. Yep.
And why women are in the space that they're in right now because of all of this shit that was going on. It
And
was
that
legal
trauma
to
has been
beat
passed
a
down.
woman up until 1994.
And
Like,
not
what are
only
y'all
that, if we're
talking
not saying
about?
it right, we're not saying it was every single man. We're not
No, we're
saying it was
not.
all men,
We're
but we're
not.
saying that there was a great number of men back then that this is what was going on.
I,
It's
I
looking
I
like we
It
might
was
need
honestly
to
think
more
do a
that
part
prevalent
some
two
than
to this,
anything
y'all.
else.
We might have to do a part two,
We
and
should.
because I think this is turning into a really good, maybe a presentation might need to be done. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like shout outs to the brothers in the chat who stuck by and put in their comments and fake beat up my women a little bit on here. Don't beat my women up too much.
They didn't beat
No, they
nobody
tried.
up.
They
Don't
ain't beating
ever
us
give
they
up.
them.
did.
They
Don't
tried
ever
it.
give them that. They tried it.
They tried it. Yeah.
But listen, and we're willing to have any of you brothers want to come up and be on the panel. We open the floor for you guys. You just want to comment you want to be combative in the chat, but won't come up here and speak your piece.
And be cooperative.
Okay, we welcome
And
all the
Brother
smoke.
Shabazz
We're
was
not
saying we
being
didn't say
You
that,
want
and
cooperative.
us
that's
to
why I
have
just said what I said.
you want us to
Not
have a
being
certain level of
cooperative.
respect and decorum and be able to dialogue and have communication with you guys. But you guys seem to be coming in here to be combative. You want to see one of us lose our mind on you. And that's not what we're here for. We're here to bridge the gap. But we have to be honest about the things that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot sit back and pretend like there were no misters, like there's still no misters.
Right.
We can't pretend like there wasn't a Suge Avery or that there's still Suge Avery. We have to stop this pretending.
Right.
I agree.
So, any
Mhm.
closing words from my diabolical divas?
Yes. Jerry, thoughts. Um.
Hold on. We got one more. We got one more guest. We're gonna put on. He
Okay.
decided
Okay.
to jump over the last minute. We're gonna get my man original airtight the floor for at least give him 5 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap up.
What's
Okay.
up, David?
See if you on mute, my brother.
Who's it?
That's my homeboy, David.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you.
great show. I came in on tail end of it, man. What y'all ladies are, what y'all saying is 136% correct, actually. Just to break it down about the grandmothers and thing. My grandmother pretty much had it her way. She married a man that was 9 years her junior, which was my biological grandfather. She already had 2 children, and he basically courted her for a while. He was like, "Why you want to hook up with me? You say I got these 2 babies." He's like, "I don't give a damn. I want you." He courted her for like maybe 2 years, and she finally pretty much gave in to him. But let me give y'all a little bit of her backstory. The Color Purple was her favorite movie because it basically told her story. My grandmother was an incredible woman. She came from Chandler, Oklahoma, and made it to New York, y'all, to the Cotton Club. Yes. So let me tell you something about her. I mean, it is what it is. My grandmother was a madam, just that's the truth. She ran a hotel here in Oklahoma City called the Blackstone Hotel, and this is all you can look all this up. It was a 3-story hotel. She walked in the hotel with a dime in her pocket. Her and my grandfather, a dime, and told the white man that she wanted the building, that he wasn't running it right, and she made that business into other businesses. Within that building, there was a bakery, a restaurant, and also a seamstress shop there. So she was a very industrious woman. Mind y'all, she could not read. My grandmother could not read. And when she finally did learn how to read, it wasn't very well. But she was very intelligent. Now, she was raped when she was 13 by her stepbrother.
Wow.
And the conditions in Chandler, Oklahoma, everything was farming back then. If y'all understand this, we're talking about the turn of the century. So check this out. She's raped by her brother. I don't know if y'all know this, but men used to get together and make the kids dance for them and stuff and do nasty stuff, right? Well, one evening after she'd already been raped by her stepbrother, my great grandfather, he was a nasty ass. Excuse my grammar. Can I cuss on here?
You
Can I
good,
cuss on
brother.
here? He was a nigga. I don't even like using that word like that, but he was just a nasty ass nigga. My great granddaddy. I don't know if they used to piss in these buckets and also spit tobacco in them. They had them all over the porches back then, right? Well, he would he talked about her, would call her ugly, fat, all this shit or whatever, right? Well, one day she was outside. It was on a Sunday. He had her outside dancing with the kids, whatever. He decided to throw a bucket of spit and piss on her. Ooh. She ran away from home with her baby.
Oh God.
Yeah, real talk, And about her being molested and stuff, she used to piss the bed. So, it was just hard on her. Just her life was hard, but she made her way as an adult. Made a lot of herself, and she taught me a lot of self pride as far as her and my grandfather. And they were actually inseparable to the day that they both died. Like I said, my grandfather was 9 years her junior, and he absolutely worshipped the ground that my grandmother walked on. Even when she got cross with him, he was such a man. He would just tell her, "Hey, look, you acting up right now. When my wife come back, I'll talk to her." I never heard him get out of line. My grandfather was a straight, I'm not even exaggerating. My grandfather was a straight killer. He came from that time where there was no play in the game, y'all, if y'all understand what was going on here in Oklahoma. But I love my grandparents. I'm proud of my grandparents. I'm proud of my grandmother for being a matriarch. I'm not ashamed of what she even did, she felt like she did. Like I said, grandma was getting it in just like grandpa was getting it in.
Yeah.
And I'm not even ashamed to tell y'all, because it is what it is. My mother, the man that raised me, I found out like 5-6 years ago that he's not even my biological father, the man that raised me. So my mom was getting it in when she was young. So women do the same thing men do. They just been a little bit more covert about it, actually. And I think, and since that's happened to me, I think the whole, gamut on human sexuality needs to be, we really needs to analyze, because we lie about our sexuality. People do. They be lying to kick it about their sexuality. Some people, one person's not enough for you, whether you're male or female. Some people are happy being monogamous. Some people are happy with not even having a problem. I mean, we got so many descriptions when it comes to sexuality now. It's out the window. Hell, some people like living with their damn fish or whatever. But
I appreciate you coming up in your transparency, because a
Yeah.
lot of men like to believe that their grandmothers was just like this perfect. I never did anything, and it's not. That's not the case. It's not always
nah,
the case.
nah.
Not
It's
really.
not always the case, because
We
if they
definitely gotta
actually,
have him back. I would like
right,
for
we
him to
do.
come back
Yeah.
and do a show. Maybe give you some time to speak. I haven't gotten to meet you, but I definitely would like to hear maybe more of your story, or maybe you have some things that you could contribute if you're willing to come back.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And thank y'all for allowing me on the stage, everyone. And thanks for all the forum, brothers. Yeah, I'm very
And
intrigued
thank you
by
for
it.
coming in. We appreciate you.
You already
Thank
know we
Definitely.
got a
you.
lot of stuff
We
on the
appreciate
channel,
your
and I
story.
hope to hear from you more. So whoever friend this is, make sure you let him know. Holla at us on the
He's
back.
my friend, guys. I
All
Make
told
right,
sure
you
you
so
check
on
out the
the show.
Facebook page.
Huh?
yeah,
Right on.
Make
I'm gonna
sure you
come
check
looking
out the
for you, my
Facebook
brother.
page.
I'm gonna come looking for you. My name
He's
Cannon.
on my
I just
Facebook
pull up
page.
on you. All right,
Right
that's
on.
cool.
It's pleasure to meet you, brother. Pleasure to meet you, and ladies. And thank y'all for. I love what your conversation. Y'all putting it down.
Thank
Thank
you.
You. Thanks
you.
for coming.
Hey y'all,
Thank you
somebody
so
wrap us
much.
up. Somebody bring us home.
All right, with Jerry thoughts. So with everything that we've talked about, um, men and women both have to be held accountable for their lack of distrust, not taking accountability. Just be a good person, right? Just understand that we all have flaws. Understand that we're not perfect. Just understand that we're not on the same path. So, we just gotta do our best. Be good people. Treat each other with respect and love, and that's all we can do. That's Jerry's thoughts.
You already know. Quincy, I want to see you up here too. Maybe if you get comfortable, pull up on us on the next episode. Somebody else, Deaconess, you want to pray us out? You know,
Deaconess Ditta.
Deaconess did a pig.
Well,
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Real
we
quick,
can hear you.
sis. Cannon, I want to let everybody know that we have a great show coming up Friday. Be there or be square. You guys are going to enjoy this. Spread the word, because Friday, the 19th, we're going to step outside, and you're going to love what we got going on.
Okay,
It is
okay.
after dog.
After dark.
After
Mm-mm.
dark.
That's
So
not the after dark show, Friday.
Friday's not the after. When is that after dog? Okay, we'll talk afterwards.
Oh, we'll
But
talk.
the Friday show gonna be tight. It's gonna be like that. Y'all better be here once that thumbnail come out. And speaking of, if you new to the channel, brother Shabazz, get with me, man. I know you got some things you want to discuss too. Um, Anybody else? Ali the Great, Vincent Mueller, as always. What's up? Make sure y'all get back with us on this channel. I really want y'all to check out what the Diabolical Divas got coming up. The next two shows gonna be like that.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and
Like,
subscribe. Hit
share, and
that bell
subscribe.
icon. Anybody else got any closing comments before we go?
I do. I do. I just want to say that as with when it comes to us, especially Black folk, with us in our relationships, we have to learn how to give each other grace,
Mm.
and we really, really do. We have to know that we've all been through something, and we have to be willing to listen to the other person's issues and complaints, and maybe see if that's something we want to deal with. If not, then it's okay for you to walk away, because you may be like, listen, they got too much going on, and I don't think I can handle it. But if you really want this to be something that, if you want it to be something that's lasting, you have to really, really take the time to listen to the other person and communicate. Get into couples counseling if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's important to have someone maybe that's a third party that's outside of everything to be able to say, okay, listen, this is what they're trying to say, because maybe the communication between you guys is not that great, but this will at least help you to improve your communication, because that's one of the biggest things, communication and trust in these relationships, and we don't have that a lot of times.
Understanding
That's
and
it.
compassion.
Yep, absolutely.
Amen, everybody. Listen, I love y'all. We out to the next episode. See y'all on the same channel. DMG, what up? Get better soon, my boy. And ladies, you already know how to get with me. Bad signal. We out.
Good night.
I don't got no friends. I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side, and people on the other side.
Welcome to the shift where the whole room glows. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. This you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm like, yo, shine just right. Respect your view even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. This that channel that be talking back, energy attack. Iron sharpens iron, watch the whole league react. Competition in the building, better tighten up your facts. We ain't clones, but we still mirror how you crack under impact. Every debate will work hot, spot a weak, rap fast. You live wrong, paradigm shift and break your stance. I'm the judge, the jury, the pen, the contrast. My bars hit always like a quadruple. Buying title shift where the whole room glow. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't all align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. We invite every mind, long as you stand on yours. Walking with respect, leave with open doors. Channel stay lit, views jumping off the boards. STL bounce, yeah, the spy from the source. Competitors, welcome, step up, don't fold. We don't fit pressure, we refine under load. God's heavy, we press them till the truth get told. Shift so clean, it feel platinum even when it's gold. Come through correct, bring your logic and your proof. Speak your truth, just don't run from the truth. We debate with grace, that's the paradigm groove. Flow so smooth, even turbulence move. Welcome to the shift where the whole room go. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Where the home glow. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' go. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibes got the city on go. Welcome to the shift. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. Welcome to the shift. If you black, I'm with you, if you black, I'm with you. Welcome to the shift. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. Welcome to the shift. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibe, got the city on low. Walk with paradigm shift, keep it real for.
Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me.